It's a white man's world. My father instilled this idea in my mind years ago. I didn't want to believe him, but when I stepped into kindergarten at Athens Christian School, I was wrong. The teacher explained to us that we would be drawing portraits of ourselves. She went on to say, the color of everyone's skin in this room is apricot, so use the apricot crayon. She paused and then glanced at me. She went on to say, except Makayla, you used the brown one. It registered in my mind that she was pointing out that my race isn't widely represented in a private school. I know that's a lot of marginalization from a crayon. She made sure that I knew I was darker than tan. An African American knows if you engage in Black culture, you can still potentially damage a friendship between a white person and an African American. When I was in 5th grade, I had an MP3 player. While one of my friends was listening to my music, which was all rap, she looked at me and said, "Why do you listen to this?" I told her I liked it. The next day, I noticed she distanced herself from me. So I asked her why. And she told me that her parents said only useless niggers listen to rap. Her parents said I wouldn't make a good friend and she can't hang out with me anymore. I burst into tears. I wasn't useless and I wasn't a nigger. The prejudice is alive and strong in our American culture and way of life. African American culture will never be accepted as the norm. Being darker than tan means the store clerk will continuously check up on me. I am not a thief, but the store clerk wasn't looking at my balance on the card. She wasn't examining my wallet. All she saw was that I am darker than tan. And why is everything that my race does is wrong? It's like it only becomes right when done by the white. Rap and R&B music is commonly referred to music for Black kids. It's all about money, sex, and drugs. Okay, I own up to that. But you can't tell me that rock and hipster music does not insinuate the same themes. In white music, you hear lyrics like, I got a body full of liquor and a cocaine kicker. And S is for the simple need, E is for ecstasy, X is just to mark the spot. But it doesn't matter how many people say it, Black music is wrong and white is right. The white privilege provokes my thoughts with great frustration. Hearing people deny it makes me emotional. Those words make me realize I have less value because of my skin tone. When whites reply to me by saying, oh, it's the 21st century, we don't do that anymore, I tell them to shut up, because they don't get it. As African Americans, we deal with racism on a daily basis. If Caucasians were to deal with it, they'd be in outrage. They'd be at the courthouse fighting for racism. And you know what? They'd probably win. We live in a society where if you want to be at the top, then it's all about who you know. The white man helps the white man. It's just all these things that we African Americans laugh about, but it's not funny. It is wrong and revoked. The 13th Amendment was signed January 31st, 1865. I am a person. The 14th Amendment says I am a citizen. Stop treating me like a trend that never ended. Until then, I'll be followed, forced to assimilate, and told that I'm wrong. All because I, Makayla Danielle Richards, is and will always be darker than tan.